Good morning. This is Father Stephen Kelly from St. John's Church in Detroit. We're continuing our series of daily morning meditations, where we generally look at one or another of the lessons that are assigned for morning or evening prayer, what is known as the daily office lecture. And today is Tuesday, so I thought let's take a look at the lesson that's assigned from St. Luke's Gospel, the 5th chapter, beginning at the 12th verse. And it came to pass, when he was in a certain city, behold, a man full of leprosy, who, seeing Jesus, fell on his face and besought him, saying, Lord, if thou wilt, thou canst make me clean. And he put forth his hand and touched him, saying, I will, be thou clean. And immediately the leprosy departed from him. And he charged him to tell no man, but go and show thyself to the priest, and offer thy cleansing according to the law as Moses commanded, for a testimony unto him. But so much the more there went a fame abroad of him, and great multitudes came together to hear and to be healed by him of their infirmities. And he withdrew himself into the wilderness and prayed. And it came to pass on a certain day that he was teaching, that there were Pharisees and doctors of the law sitting by, which were come out of every town of Galilee and Judea and Jerusalem, and the power of the Lord was present to heal them. And behold, men brought in a bed, a man which was taken with the palsy, and they sought means to bring him in and lay him before him. And when they could not find by what way they might bring him in because of the multitude, they went upon the housetop and let him in through the tiling with his couch in the midst before Jesus. And when he saw their faith, he said unto him, Man, thy sins are forgiven thee. And the scribes and the Pharisees began to reason, saying, Who is this which speaketh blasphemies? Who can forgive sins but God alone? But when Jesus perceived their thoughts, he answering unto them said, What reason ye in your hearts? Whether it is easier to say, Thy sins be forgiven thee, or to say, Rise up and walk? But that ye may know that the Son of Man hath power upon earth to forgive sins, he saith unto the sick of the palsy, I say unto thee, Arise, take up thy couch, and go into thine house. And immediately he arose up before them, and took up that whereon he lay, and departed to his own house, glorifying God. And they were all amazed, and they glorified God, and were filled with fear, saying, We have seen strange things today. Okay, so, the first half, of course, we hear about the healing of the man with leprosy, and Jesus says, you still need to fulfill the law. Go and show to the priests, as the law of Moses prescribes, that you've received your healing. And of course, he happily does that. He can be readmitted to society once he's proven that he's no longer leprous. But then, of course, because his fame is spreading, more and more people are coming, not just to hear, because they want something from him. They want healing for their loved ones. They want healing for themselves. And boy, this group of people here, they get the A for effort. They can't find a play to get this guy in with the bed or the couch. So what do? They take back the thatch off the roof, and the King James translation calls it the tiles, and they let him in through the roof to get Jesus's attention. And of course, Jesus says something scandalous. Your sins are forgiven you. Now, to us, perhaps we've just gotten used to the fact that God does forgive sins, and he does it through the mechanism of his church. That whether it be an auricular confession, right, with a confession into the ear to the priest, and an assurance of forgiveness from the priest offering absolution. But we also, of course, believe, because we have a general confession as well. We confess our sins and we receive that assurance of forgiveness. But this is so strange, because for them, they offered these sacrifices of animals in the hopes of forgiveness, but it was only God who could forgive those sins alone. Now, of course, the trick to it all is that when they say that only God can forgive sins, they're right, because Jesus is God. Of course he can forgive this person's sins. They don't even realize what they're saying, but they're saying what is true. Jesus is God and can forgive sins. So today's Tuesday. I'm still away. I'll be away all week. So please do. So there's no public worship here at St. John's today, but of course you should be saying your prayers. Say morning prayer, say evening prayer, or if you're not used to doing that, just say your prayers. Pray for the church. Pray for your parish priest. Pray for your neighbors. And I will be praying for you on my holiday. And may God give you a Tuesday that is full of blessings.